Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey with the Daily Briefing from interest.co.nz. Today we'll look at the latest action around blue chip investments, which is now being investigated by the Commerce Commission over misleading advertising. And we'll check out the latest big move in interest rates in the finance company sector and why they're putting up rates over 10%. Firstly, we have news that the Commerce Commission is investigating the advertising material that blue chip investments issued before the property management system collapsed. It's been alerted by property consultant Olly Newland to the issue of whether blue chip was misleading investors with claims it was backed by Macquarie Bank and insured by Lloyds of London. Of course, neither claim was true. The blue chip debacle is just getting worse as stories emerge of people who bought apartments off blue chip for 50% more than they're worth and are now getting no rent. The key questions now are around the fallout. How many of these blue chip investors who mortgage their own homes to buy into these apartments face defaulting on their debts, as rent payments aren't being made and they face big unpaid bills for body corporate fees and leaky building repairs? Which banks lent them all that money? Or did finance companies do the lending? Which valuers are now morally and legally responsible for apartment valuations that were so far off the mark? And what will happen to the real estate market in central Auckland in particular? That market saw prices drop 15% in 1 month in January. It's fair to say that's a buyer's market. Now for a look at interest rates being offered by finance companies. This morning, South Canterbury Finance increased its secured debenture rates for 2, 3, 4 and 5 year terms to 10% for the first time. It has joined Hanover Finance and Strategic Finance in putting their rates up over 10% to try and attract depositors' funds. Now just Marrick remains of the big finance companies with rates below 10%. Confidence in the sector is low in the wake of 14 finance company collapses in the last 2 years that has locked up nearly $1.9 billion worth of debentures. Losses on those debentures are currently running at nearly $750 million. If that wasn't trouble enough, now it seems finance companies look like facing an even bigger challenge. Already banks are offering nearly 9% for their 2-year term deposits, but it now seems likely the banks will make a series of preference share issues offering interest rates of over 10.5%. That's reported today in the Independent Financial Review. That would put finance companies under enormous pressure. They already face reinvestment rates closer to 50% than 70%. That will make it so much harder. I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz with the Daily Briefing. Catch you on Thursday.